Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Rona Dayz, episode 87 of the show that will never end. It is the show where I recap my week, talk about things that are going on as it has been in this new reality post-pandemic, although... Is it gone? I don't think so. At least kids are getting shots now. That's good, you know, for the kids that aren't being raised by anti-vax crazy people, or like professional athletes that get their medical advice from a podcaster. But you know, at least on that front, at least on the coronavirus aspect of this show, you know, it seems like things are, you know, better. They're better. They're pretty much, it seems like about as good as they're going to get. You know, maybe another wave here or there. I don't know. What's really been messing with me is the time change. I am over this daylight savings bullshit. I am over it. I'm tired of having to change my clocks twice a year to mess with my internal clock, to mess with my brain chemistry twice a year because of some old business thing that came into being because of farming or whatever. Whatever the reason is for daylight savings is dumb. It is stupid. We are living in the world, the year of 2021. We don't need to be living by farmers' rules. If somebody needs to get up earlier, set your alarm clock earlier for a few months instead of the entire society pretending that it's a different time. I've been tired. I went to sleep at like 8:30 last night because it gets dark at like 4 o'clock now. I walked my dog way too early. Just because I'm used to, it's like, oh, when the sun, like around sunset is usually when I'll take my dog for a walk. Now that happens at like 3:30. It's way too early. So I don't have that visual like, oh, it's time to walk the dog. Now I have to like pay attention. There's probably tonight. I'll just forget and it'll be like midnight. I'll be like, oh shit, forgot to walk the dog. But it's messed with my sleep. I mean, thankfully, I not that I minded going to sleep super early yesterday because I have been sleeping so poorly. It felt good to get a full night's sleep. So I made sure to drink, tea, valerian root, 2 things of valerian root. I put a thing of, I think, throat coat and like a breathe easy, I think is what I did. And just, drank that before bed. Slept great. Had some crazy dreams. Got a good start today. Like today's going pretty good, and I made sure to drink my genius tea this morning. I'm really making sure I'm mentally right for the podcast because there's been weeks where I've recorded this podcast where my brain is barely functioning. So it feels good today, feels good recording. I feel clear-headed. And going to sleep at like 8 o'clock, that worked out. It worked out. I slept probably like 12 hours. I think I woke up around 8 this morning. I needed it. But yeah, time change is messing me up. I'm still updating things, as I mentioned last episode, that I launched Inspired Disorder Plus, which is basically like what Patreon does for creative people. It's a way for you to pay monthly or yearly to subscribe to bonus content from me. You also get special deals and pricing. There's archived all of the podcasts that I've done. That's actually what I've been doing recently, is trying to locate all of the audio from, I've produced 15 plus podcasts over the last, since 2008. A little over 4 years ago, I started The Many Faces. It's an ongoing series of abstract ink portraits. Each piece is improvised. Each piece is released daily. Start collecting now. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/TMF. That stands for The Many Faces. And save yourself 25% when you use coupon code RTS. That stands for The Ray Taylor Show, because that's what you're listening to, and I love you. So I want you to save 25% when you use that coupon code. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/TMF and use coupon code RTS to save 25% when you start collecting one of over 1,600 original ink paintings. By myself, I made them. Support me. I love you. Back to the show. Thankfully, out of the 15, 16, 17 podcasts that I've done, there's only 2 that I've lost. There's lost audio, which is a bummer. There's a show called The Collective, which there was only 2 episodes of, where it was me and other people that were part of my podcast collective that I started. And we would just kind of like a round table, just kind of have fun and talk to each other. Only did 2 episodes of that. And then there was a show called We Are Recording. And that was an interview show where I interviewed other podcasters about podcasting. I don't know how many episodes I did of that. Maybe like 4 to 7. But both of those shows are missing. But there's other shows that I forgot about. Like there was one, Shit Happens, which was a solo podcast that I was trying to do daily back in like 2009-ish. So I've been trying to, I've found all the audio for all that stuff. And it's just getting it all posted so people can go back and listen to it. And it's made me reminisce about things. And it's why I'm doing my top 5 podcasts I've produced, because, you know, it brought me, there's a lot of stuff I completely forgot about. I edited the 24-hour podcast. I edited that by hour. So there's 24, hours of that podcast. The first episode I didn't record. That was not produced. I hosted the first 24-hour podcast. I did not produce it necessarily. I kind of co-produced it, I guess, with Yuck Nasty and Into Corner, but Yuck recorded the audio so I don't have that. I only have episode 2, which was the fundraiser we did for Yuck Nasty when his house burned down on Christmas Eve. So there's that. So it's been crazy going through all of those podcasts. And, of course, while I've been working, just uploading things and designing web pages and all that stuff, getting everything posted, all the 15-plus shows, getting it all cleaned up. I've been listening to podcasts, obviously. I've been getting back into The Dollop, which is American history podcast where Dave Anthony reads a story from history, usually American history, to Gareth Reynolds, who is a comedian. They're both comedians. Gareth has no idea what the story is about, so he gets to experience it for the first time, along with me and along with most listeners, because I would imagine most people that listen to that show, well, maybe not most, but definitely a percentage, don't know that much about history. So it's an American history podcast, but it's hilarious. So I've gotten back into that because I have unsubscribed to so many podcasts, primarily comedians podcasts, primarily comedians that have decided to just dig their heels in, go conservative, like all of the big comics that went to Texas. Then there's a lot of like New York comedians. It just feels like if they're like a lot of them like to complain about like how hard it is to like perform for liberals, like versus obviously conservatives, a lot easier to perform for because they are dumb as fuck. But they convince me to not, as a liberal or somebody that's like, I'm not necessarily happy with the politicians. There's definitely some horrible liberal politicians that might as well just be conservative. But, like, I am a progressive. I'm a fucking socialist, okay? I'm a socialist. Let's get some socialism in this country. Probably one of the least socialist countries in the goddamn developed world. Waste all of our money on killing people. All the money on this defense bullshit that did nothing to stop 2 planes from flying into a couple buildings one day. All that money that's wasted on this so-called national defense bullshit. Let's get some fucking Medicare. Let's get some fucking universal medical. Let me go get my teeth fixed. Let me go get some glasses. Can I just be healthy without having to get in massive amounts of debt or work for a corporation that like maybe will give me like mildly decent health coverage? Like, there's so many things that should not be like dictated by this open free market dumb like fantasy that these capitalists have. Let's waste some money on the people in this goddamn country instead of going to invade other countries. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. So that's one nice thing that the Dollop adds is like, oh, we've been horrible forever. Like, these are things that have happened. Like, Trump is not the first politician to do exactly what Trump did. It's like it's amazing. So anyway, the Dollop, it's a great podcast. Also, Gareth was a guest multiple times on my old podcast, Inspired Disorder Podcast, which you can only watch or listen to when you become an Inspired Disorder Plus member. Inspired Disorder Plus members get exclusive access to all of the podcasts I've done in the past that are not this podcast, but all the other ones. So yeah, I would recommend checking those episodes out of the Inspired Disorder Podcast, which that's a podcast that's going to take a while. I have 390 episodes that I need to like make sure I have everything for. So, you know, just because it's there doesn't mean it's going to be easy to access. But nobody's a member yet. I just launched it. But yeah, the Dollop's amazing. And of course, started off my week, which I've done before, and I did it again, and it drives me nuts because I have like limited hard drive space on my laptop. I accidentally deleted all of the social media content that I post for my paintings every day. Just deleted it because I need to free up space. I'm always freeing up space. Nothing stays on my laptop. But I forgot to transfer the videos as 14 videos, the 60-second and 15-second making of painting videos that I do. I forgot to copy those over into my social media folder. And I deleted it. So I had to start off my week editing videos that should have been like almost a day's worth of work just got wasted. But other than that, it's been a decent week. I forced myself Tuesday to take the day off because I was literally working from the moment I got up to the moment I went to sleep, trying to prepare all these podcasts for Inspired Disorder Plus, trying to get Inspired Disorder Plus launched, trying to get some merch designed in the new merch store. So it's been like a week of my life has just flown by in a blink of an eye, and so I forced myself to take Tuesday off, which felt good. I still watched some movies. One of which I ended up being the review for Saturday. So that's how my life works. But yeah, other than that, it's just still been hot. The weather, it's cooling down a little bit, but it's still like 90. It's like high 80s, low 90s, and it's the middle of November. Like, there's sweat on my forehead. I have fans on, and but it's still. I'm tired of sweating. I'm so tired of it. It's ridiculous. And I know I'm only going to get like a few months. I'm just going to get a few months of decent, cool weather, and then it's just going to start heating up again. And then we're going to be breaking records. We're going to be breaking heat wave records again. Ugh. It is like an exhausting reality, an exhausting existence. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? I just need to just help me get rich, people, so I can just like live in my van or something. I need to get that working. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope everybody's doing good. If you have kids, I hope they are getting the shots. Just get the shots, man. Don't be getting your medical advice from former reality TV show hosts, whether it be Donald Trump or Joe Rogan, both of which have hosted reality TV shows, neither of which are doctors or medical professionals or scientists. Just like listen to educated people who spent their life doing a thing, that have actually done the thing, and are not just calling themselves a doctor in order to take advantage of an opportunity to make money trying to sell you on some bullshit, some fucking horse dewormer. Get the vaccine. It's helps society. You know that, though. Why would you be watching if you didn't know that already? But I hope everybody's having a good week. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!